Dreambodyz.
What's going on, people? It's your boy Ann will be coming to you once again with another vid. Today is shoulders. Once again working out with Big Lood, and we started today's session off with lateral raises. And I want you to take a look at the difference between the technique between the two of us. Big Lood right here, he more brings his elbows back as he's coming up on his lateral raise. With me myself, I like to really bring the dumbbells underneath my legs and keep my shoulders or elbows a little bit more forward. For me, I get a little more burn, a little more sensation in my lateral heads or of my deltoids when I do it this way. I kind of do them like a bent over or a bent over row, being that I bring the dumbbells between my legs, let them touch, and then I come back up. But I try not to use the momentum or the bounce from the dumbbells when they touch. Next, we moved on to some front raises, focus on the front head of that deltoid muscle. And once again, the form is a little bit different between the two of us. Lood has an extensive background in bodybuilding. You know, with me, I have my background in powerlifting. And if you look at the form, Lood has a little bit of sway. He sways left when he's going to the left, sways right a little bit when he's going to the right. He also likes to bring the dumbbell a little bit above his head. Me, myself, when it comes to my form, my technique, I try to stay as straight as I can. So this way I'm putting all the tension, all the focus on just my deltoids. And I like to go to about nose to chin level. I really don't like to go above my head. I feel a lot of strain in my rotator cuff, and that's one injury that I'm really trying to avoid because being that I'm a personal trainer, I see rotator cuff injuries on a consistent basis, and that's something that you just don't come back from. So I try not to sway too much too often. I try to get the dumbbell, like I said, to about my chin, and for me, it works. Now there are a few different variations you can do to this exercise. You can, do it how we're doing it, starting off with a neutral or hammer grip, and then you can rotate it up to a pronated grip, or you can stay in that hammer grip. It basically just comes down to what's comfortable for you and your overall goal. There's no right or wrong way. It is changing the angles. And every time you change the angle, you're changing the way you're hitting the muscle, and you're making it that much better, that much stronger. Next, we moved on to behind the head military press. And we got pretty heavy on this. This is something else that I don't particularly normally do. This as well as behind the head lat pull downs, just because of the rotator cuff injury, seriousness that can come about from doing movements like this if you don't do them correctly. But Big Lood led what he said. I did. So we started off, with the plate and worked our way up, making sure that we were all, nice and warm. Even though we started off with the lateral raises and the front raise, but it felt real good. I do see a lot of people often when doing this exercise, they'll go all the way down till they touch their traps. To me, you really don't need that far of a range of motion, and you're just putting yourself at a very high risk of tearing that rotator cuff. So if you do enjoy this exercise, and if you are having shoulder problems and you're wondering where they're coming from, just try coming up a little higher. I was touching basically the little knot in the back of my head that everyone has, and I was coming back up. So I wasn't going down too far. I'm hitting parallel with my shoulders or my elbows, so I'm definitely getting the range of motion that I need, and it's doing the job just how, like I wanted to. When I was done with this, my traps were on fire. Our next exercise was reverse shrugs, and once again, we definitely also went heavy on this. Haven't done these in a while, so it did feel good to get these going again. And you can look at the technique once again. Lood and I have different techniques for this. When we came to the military press, we kind of had the same technique, same form. We both stopped at the same place. But for this, it kind of goes back up to what he was doing earlier. He likes to swing a little bit. He likes to bounce. Doesn't make it wrong. Doesn't make my form right. It's just I like to stay as completely still as I can and let the muscles do their job. Try to take all the momentum out of it. But we just did some heavy weight. Right here you see we have 2 plates and a quarter. Big Lood had to step away. He had a client, and I kept going. I did 3 plates here, and for my last set I did 3 plates and a quarter, and it felt good. If I could change anything about this exercise, I probably would have chalked up and threw my belt on and gone a little bit higher. I didn't feel like my form really broke that much, and it does come a point in time where your form does break, and you kind of have to get a little ugly to to get the weight up, and I'm a victim of that as well. And I don't mind that. You can't have perfect form for every single lift, every single time. So that might have been the one thing I would have changed. This last and final exercise I truly enjoy, and this is something for all those who are trying to help or trying to increase their bench. This is something that really works on the speed and power generation from the position from touching your chest. So as you can see, I have the weight coming down to the markers or to the guides, and without a bounce, I'm exploding to a full lockout position. And this definitely helps me with my bench, because when you have the bar on your chest, even though your power is coming from the ground, as it comes through your body, you really need to be able to explode with your shoulders, and to get it to at least a stick point. And once you get to the stick point, then that's a whole nother ball game. Then you have to start focusing on your tricep and get the lockout. So I did a few sets with this. I did the 135, I did 185, I did 190, and then I bumped up to 225, and felt good. But this is your boy Animal B signing out.
Dreambodyz.